Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. We are from Group B for UNGS 2080 Section 12. And for this video, we will share and discuss about the hot topic that occur in this world nowadays. Our topic presentation for this video is human trafficking, and we will discuss about the issues and solutions. As you can see here is the outline of our topic. First, introduction. What is human trafficking? Second, elements and types of human trafficking. And third, causes of human trafficking. Fourth, issues and consequences. And the last one is solutions to human trafficking.
My name is Fazlina binti KARIM. So, as an introduction of the topic is what is human trafficking? Human trafficking is a group of crime that involve the exploitation of men, women, and children for financial gains, which is violation of fundamental human rights. We also know that human rights as trafficking in person or modern day slavery is a crime that involves compelling, or we call as forcing a person to provide labor or services or to engage in commercial sex acts. So then this enforcement can be subtle or overt, physical and psychological. Exploitation of a minor for commercial sex is human trafficking, regardless of whether any form of force, fraud, or enforcement was used. So basically, in human trafficking is the third largest international crime, and over 1 million people trafficked annually, and millions of men, women, and children are victims of human trafficking. And lastly, human trafficking is a part of the larger problem of slavery.
The elements of human trafficking. As you guys can see here, human trafficking has three core components. First, the act, second, the means, and last one is the purpose. The act is referred to the way in which the person is recruited or moved. And second, the means. The means is the person used to carry out the recruitment or movement, such as the trade of the force used and include deception. And this will be when someone decides to make trip to take up a job which doesn't actually exist. And last one is the purpose. The purpose is referred to the motivation of the trafficker, the way which they are seeking to exploit the victim. And this could be for their labor, for sexual exploitation, or even for their organs. And all three of these components must be present in a case of human trafficking. A form of modern slavery, there is one exception.
So there is the 5 types of human trafficking. First, sexual exploitation. Second, forced labor. Third one is criminal exploitation. And fourth, domestic servitude. And the last one, organ harvesting. So in the first one is sexual exploitation. An individual controlled for the purpose of sex. Control may be in the form of violence, threats, deception, grooming, substance abuse, physical and psychological abuse. And second, forced labor. An individual trafficked for forced labor is work done under threat of violence to self or family for little or no money. And victims can be further controlled by debt bondage, and deception, physical and psychological abuse are common tactics used by exploiters. And that one is criminal exploitation. For example, an individual is forced to commit a criminal activity such as cannabis, cultivation, forced digging, stealing, or benefit fraud. And control tactics as those used above are used here as well. And fourth, domestic servitude. An individual forced into domestic servitude has to live usually in a private household, performing mostly domestic chores and childcare duties. Freedom is often restricted and can often work long hours for little or no pay, often sleeping where they work. And then the last one is organ harvesting. An individual trafficked for organ harvesting has their organs removed for sale without consent. And causes of human trafficking. First, poverty. Poverty when leading to the attraction of better living elsewhere. For example, when someone living in poverty, such as a widow or single mother who struggle to provide of her children, is desperate to meet basic needs, and she is in vulnerable position, a trafficker familiar with this scenario and might offer her a job that enables her to feed her children. If this appears to be her only option, she may accept and be willing to do whatever the trafficker asks of her. And second, displacement. Displacement is war, political instability, and natural disaster can displace individuals or entire family. And then broken family. Broken family also can be a reason why human trafficking occur. Individuals who are cast out of their homes, abandoned, or placed into the child welfare system are highly vulnerable to human trafficking. And then cultural practice. In some society, it's widely accepted to devalue and abuse women and children. And this outlook is ingrained into the minds of men and women in certain culture, which is creates a huge opportunity for traffickers. And then lack of employment opportunities. Traffickers target unemployed individuals and often use deception to persuade them to leave home and take a job in another city or country. And the last one is lack of knowledge or experience. Inexperience may lead individuals down a path that ends in exploitation. And immigrants who arrive in a foreign country may not understand his or her rights, may be unfamiliar with the national law, or may not know the national language.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Wang YECHENG. Today, I will introduce the human trafficking issues and consequences. The population trade has a long history and may be one of the oldest trades of mankind. According to global data analysis, human trafficking is the world's third largest black market trade after drugs and arms. UNODC has released a set of data that conservatively estimates that there are 27 million enslaved people in the world, which has exceeded the number of people in the 18th and 19th century, the peak of the slave trade. Most of the reason for this situation is that sex trafficking is legal in some countries, and high profits have contributed to the increase in human trafficking. According to data, 71% of their victims are women, and 29% are men, 28% are children. Women are often the subject of human trafficking because of the existence of legal sex transactions in their areas. Trafficked men are usually used as labor. The men are not easy to control, and their proportion is not high. In addition, due to advances in medical technology, trafficked children are often used for organ transplantation, so the proportion of children is increasing year by year. Their victims usually come from underdeveloped areas because the people have few job opportunities. People in underdeveloped areas are easily deceived and trafficked. Afterwards, their victims will be trafficked to developed regions and developed regions in backward regions. Their victims will be forced into prostitution, begging, labor, and so on. Children may also be sold to families in need. Overall, 15% to 16% of people will be used for sex transactions, and 13% to 14% will be used for other types. Even though human trafficking has become one of the most important issues in the world, the annual data on human trafficking still increases and does not show a downward trend. The consequences of human trafficking not only affect individuals, but also the entire society and the world. For individuals deprived of their rights, physical and psychological harm, and face death at any time. To society, human trafficking has led to an increase in social instability factors, a rise in crime rates, and a loss of population, and even distribution of human resources and indirect effects on the economy. To the world, the international crime rate has risen, the laws of various countries have been undermined, and the human rights systems jointly established by mankind have been undermined. Human trafficking will be also cause backward areas to become more and more backward, and developed areas can dominate backward areas, creating an imbalance in the world situation. Thank
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So inshallah I would like to share about the human trafficking, and this is regarding to the solutions. So basically I'm going to share to all of you regarding two solutions from two different perspectives, which is one is from the Islamic perspective, and the second one is from the legislation perspective. So let's go from the Islamic perspective. Islamic perspective, as you know, actually Al-Quran have mentioned severally regarding to this matter. As you can see that human trafficking, which is a continuation of the previous practice of slavery, is also strongly opposed by Islam. So it means that the slavery practice is from the old generation, and it is also opposed by Islam. This is because Islam is a religion that provides and promotes the equal treatment to all human beings, regardless of skins, colors, gender, and ethnicity. So at the same time, Islam also command to give good service to the slave. This means that the slave is also a human being, so it should be treated in a good as well, and to raise the honor of the slave as an independent human being, to protect the feelings of the slave and impose the justice. So so let's look to the Islamic perspective. So basically, Islam has introduced several effective ways for the liberations of the slaves. This means that the Muslim have to free their slave if he has made an agreement, or maybe the Muslim should uh, free their slave when it do the offenses act. As an example, by agreement, mukatabah, from the Quran, surah number 24 verses number 33. So if any of your servants wish to be freed, grant them their wish if you recognize some good in them. So it means that if the Muslim have made a promise or make an agreement to free the slave, so it should do as so. So the next one is regarding to the kafara. So it means that when the Muslim does not make some mistake, it should the punishment is he need to free the slave. So the kafara for offences such as having sexual intercourse during the day in the month of Ramadan. See, this is how Islam promoting to free the slave. And another one is killing accidentally. Quran, surah number 4 and verses number 92, which means that and never is it for a believer to kill a believer except by mistake. And whoever kills a believer by mistake, then the freeing of a believing slave and a compensation payment presented to the deceased's family is required, unless they give up their right charity. So it means that when the Muslim kill accidentally kill another Muslim, so he need to free the slave. And the last one regarding to the punishment is breaking the oath. So when someone breaking the oath, he need to free a slave. And the last one is regarding to the legislative. This one is a legislative that regarding to the national and our country itself. So the legislative, so the solution that has been made by the country, our Malaysia, is strict security control, which is control the country means entry, airport, and international border. So there's a guard that guarding the country's main entry. And the next one is review of the entry of illegal immigrants. So this have been enforced by the officers to check whether there is a illegal immigrants. And the next one is regarding to the law enforcement. So as you can see in the right of the slide, there is a list of law enforcement in Malaysia. So for those who is exploiting the kids could be jailed uh, not more than 15 years. And for those who are exploiting human, not kids, so he could be jailed for at least 3 years, and the maximum is 20 years. So this is the law enforcement that enforced in Malaysia. And the last one is dismiss officer if found abetted accepting bribes. As you can see, there is some officers that are helping the illegal immigrants uh, in entering the country. So the government has decided to dismiss the officers who found abetted accepting bribes and helps the human trafficking case.